Shares of Alphabet well in the green for a second day, jumping another 4% after yesterday's 4% gain. Google yesterday announced new AI integrations with its search and cloud products that could give the company an edge against Microsoft. Alphabet adding $115 billion in market cap in just the past 2 days. Is this a bubble, Dan? Or is this just what should have happened all along?
No, I think it's a near-term bubble. I think there's very few investable sort of things right now in mega cap tech. When you think of the pull forward and the adoption of so many of these trends that had been bubbling up before the pandemic, and they've all been decelerating. All of a sudden, there's this new shiny thing now. And when you think about, the back and forth that we've seen really between Microsoft and Google, it really is, an enterprise company pitted against a company that serves consumers. And so that means there can be multiple winners, and it doesn't have to be right here, right now, to the tunes of hundreds of billions of dollars. Let's see how these companies integrate these technologies into their products and become more useful to their clients, and therefore are able to be more accretive to their earnings.
Do you think that you would think that of this as a bubble if we had accorded some value to AI or from AI into the model earlier? Because, if we think that Google or Alphabet has been working on AI for many, many years, and we just have not put that into the valuation, and the valuation is catching up now, then it's not necessarily a bubble. Does it bother you that all of this new valuation has come right away?
Well, here's the thing. Google's multiple hasn't really expanded, even with today's move. And if you think about it, Google, Sundar Pichai said 6 years ago, they're an AI-first company. I think analysts and investors who know this company have been invested in it for a long time. They believe that. It's embedded into their long-term growth of this company. I think with Microsoft, why it took a lot of investors off guard is that they've had this transition to this more SaaS-y sort of model. And now all of a sudden, there's this hope that they may be able to gain meaningful share in search. And then they're going to integrate it into productivity tools and this and whatever. I just think that's something that is not worth betting on right here. Let's see how that plays out over the next couple of years.
You take copious notes, Melissa. The audience doesn't realize that. You have reams of notebooks with you, and you pay attention, which is the cheapest thing you can do. But we have actually said on the show, and Bonawyn pointed this out a while ago, that they have been working on this for a long time. And actually, the trough in the stock came around the time that they had that emergency meeting around all this. That actually wound up to be a huge opportunity. 120 is a level we continue to come back to. That was where we basically fell off a cliff from in August of last year. I'll say again, that's where the stock is headed, and now it's within $3.50 of that.
Yeah, I definitely buy into the argument that there's a bit of froth here, I'm a bit hesitant to use the word bubble, only because to me that implicitly states that there's like a lack of value in the underlying asset, and I don't believe that that's the case here. I think it's twofold. I think that yes, much like the cloud was 2 years ago, AI is now a buzzword that leads to people piling into a stock. I think that is irrational exuberance defined. What I also think is here is that Google, Meta, and a few of these others still give you this perceived margin of safety. And so it's a two-pronged approach as to why you're seeing these stocks continue to climb higher. It's the flight to safety coupled with now this kind of burgeoning buzzword, if you will.
So this is interesting, right, Julie? Because it's frothy or bubbly, whatever word you want to use, but also safety, which doesn't seem like normally in a normal world the two should meet, right? They should be completely different asset classes.
I think the thing, too, to keep in mind is like not all tech is created equal, and so not all tech is as durable. I would think, people view Apple as being extremely durable, and the problem I have is that that's a consumer product company, right? It's not necessarily just a tech company. And so I think each of these has to be viewed independently. If you think about Google particularly, right, the biggest problem and the biggest threat to Google's business was actually regulatory for them, just the level of market share that they have in their beautiful search business. And so if you look at the language for which they've been talking about AI, one of their pillars is, we're going to use this really responsibly and safely. And so for me as an investor, I think AI has a lot of opportunity in front of it. I don't think this is 3D printers. I don't think this is crypto. I think there's actually meaningful value here. But I think it takes a lot of scale to make AI work. And so I think it makes sense. The rally makes sense.